My first guest is the man who made electric cars a thing and is currently working on perfecting reusable rockets, space travel, connecting the human brain directly to computers, connecting cities with electromagnetic bullet trains, the Starlink satellite system that's so important to the war in Ukraine. And then on Tuesday, when I was reading there, I left out the tunnel thing at the end. Do you work on all these things?
A lot of jobs.
Do you do all these things every day? Do you work on all of them in a single day?
No.
No.
But I do have, I do have a long work day. Yeah. So I work a lot.
Including free speech.
Free speech is actually is extremely important, and it's bizarre that we've come to this point where, like, free speech used to be a left or liberal value, and yet we see from the in quotes left a desire to actually censor, and that seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment. The First Amendment is because people came from countries where they could not speak freely, and where saying certain things would get you thrown into prison. And they were like, well, we don't want that here. And by the way, in many parts of the world, I think that since if one agrees that AI is a potential risk to the public, then there should be some regulatory body that oversees what companies are doing so that they don't cut corners and potentially do something very dangerous.
And if we don't do something, lay out a scenario for me in the next 2, 5, 10 years if nothing is done, because we're very good at doing nothing, especially when it comes in the way of profit, and this is a big profit engine now for companies. They're going to want to just compete with each other. I mean, there are people like Ray Kurzweil who doesn't think it's a problem at all.
Actually, Ray Kurzweil's prediction for artificial superintelligence is 2029. He's not far wrong.
Right. But he doesn't think it's a problem, whereas people like you and Bill Gates and Stephen Hawking think it's a problem.
Yeah, it depends, including parts of the world that people might think are relatively similar to the United States. The speech laws are draconian.
England is quite different.
I won't name any countries, but...
England, why we protected them? They have no First Amendment. It's very easy to prove libel in England, whereas here it's almost...
I love England, but...
Yeah, you too, but I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing. Or
yes,
you could be sued easier. There are laws in France. I think if you deny the Holocaust, which I think is abhorrent, but I also think it should be part of free speech.
Right.
You can be thrown into jail. Okay, so this...
I really can't emphasize this enough. We must protect free speech.
What are you, the angel of death? His rant yesterday or today on Twitter, it did more than every cable news monologue or something like that.
Well, Twitter has a tremendous audience. So there's 250 million people that spend an average of half an hour a day on Twitter. So it's about 120 to 130 million user hours per day, and it's been increasing. So it's just that Twitter has a lot of people's attention. And it tends to be the people that are that read a lot or are interested in current events and generally are pretty influential. So
see, here's why I don't tweet anymore, because you may be the mayor of Tweet Town now.
Yeah.
But the reason I don't do it anymore is because the mob of mean girls is still there.